What's up, fam? How you doing? Savage here. Another weekly update. Um, there really isn't much to say here, fam. This weekly is not a bottom, in my opinion. We are holding this low. Really, this is kind of just it is 3, 4, 5 um red weeks in a row. We rarely get some type of price action like that where we just have five. I don't think we have a bottom here. And this is I'll tell you what I do think is going to happen. So we're going to go to, historically the weekly 200 we're looking at on this red line. Historically it's a great area to buy. No doubt it's held up as support. COVID, we wicked down below, well below it, and then started closing well above it. And then we had some type of consolidation here in late 2022, 2023 before we started this last cycle. I think we're headed for something like this. My personal opinion, we lose that weekly and we have some type of consolidation below. This would be the healthiest thing for Bitcoin, in my opinion. Now, people are trying to catch a bounce, and I want to just give you a little bit of perspective. When trend changes on Bitcoin, it's aggressive. Trend changed here, confirmation, right? Once you broke this high here at 25K, retested here at 25K, double bottom type of retest, and then we bounced. These moves, when we again bounce, like this is a really aggressive uptrend. We'll look at the weekly right now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 weekly candles in a row. We closed green. Again, trend kind of, we just went sideways here. Trend continued. 1, 2, 1 red. But we made this aggressive move from 40 to 70K. Sideways again. These trend the pumps here, right, are definitely better than the dips. And when we're in an uptrend, and I think it's the same thing in a downtrend. In a downtrend, you don't see too much relief of bounces. Sorry. Um. Anyways, on downtrends, right? We don't really see that much relief of bounces, which is why I'm not really looking for longs. I mean, like imagine knife catching this, right? You you knife catch, right? You knife catch, you knife catch. What? You catch maybe that 25% bounce there. Again, knife catch, knife catch, knife catch. You finally catch the 44, 43% move up. I mean, this would be kind of like your best hope, but like these were very small bounces compared to really just catching really catching shorts. So you look at over here, kind of catching shorts, 46%. Depending on where you held this, you could just go down to this wick, 27%. Another dip, obviously this FTX, 27%. This was really a decent dip before a 41% rip. Trend changed, right? 20% dip, 90% rip. So, anyways, my point being is I think still looking for shorts is the play. I think we're going to have some type of consolidation down here. We talked about the EMAs and MAs, the 21 EMA and the 50 MA, and I believe on the 5-day, which is really, really important. But the weekly is really, really important. If we could get some type of, test here, maybe a bounce above it, consolidation below, this kind of drifts over, and then eventually we get that pop. Is going to be a macro lower high, 85K before lower, but this is going to take a long time. It's going to be very similar to this. This took, I don't think we're even here. I don't even think we're at that 20K level yet. So if you can imagine, once we got to that 20K level, um, 210 days. I think that's what I said to my Discord. That's so funny. Um, so that puts us September. Yeah, not quite. So I think we're gonna have another aggressive move down. Let's see. There we go. That would be perfect. Oops, that last one's perfect. So ideally with time, it's kind of interesting. I'm glad I'm doing this. We're just using the time perspective consolidation. It looks like we have about next 21 days. We'll probably get that drop. And the reason I say that, and we're gonna go right back to the beginning. I'm gonna keep this a very simple stream, by the way. I don't need to be very long. I don't even need to go over every time frame. I kind of did that last week, and I said I think that we're just working our way sideways before another level lower. This is not a bottom, fam. This is 1, 2, 3 with bodies. This is not some type of, yeah, sure they have the higher low. This is not some type of bottom. I could see us maybe holding 1, 2 more weeks, but as far as time goes, we got 2 to 3 weeks before this drops down. We'll probably lose the 200, and that means we're going to be sitting below 57 41K. Go back to the drawings here. Let's just use our range. Range lows is down here. Come down here. Wick down here. And then what? We consolidate here. And then here or here for next cycle. But it'd probably be like something like that. I guess I wouldn't be. I'm pretty happy with anything below the 200. I think that's the way to go. I think anything below 200 is really the way to go. So that would put us range lows, right? And then we bounce for a long time. Range lows, right, for 210 days. Um, I'll go over a few alts. I'm gonna go over my faves right now. Zcash. I've been trading a lot of Zcash. It's just great volatility. That's really what I look for when I'm trading assets. You got to have controlled risk. So it's really hard to trade something like this. But if you zoom out, it's really, really clean chart here. Retest here. Haven't broken above that 300. If you rode the pump, which by the way, fam, if you were in the Discord, we did ride. Some of us rode that Zcash pump. But if you rode the pump up, 300 was resistance on the way up, and now it's resistance on the way down. Lost that level. We have to get over that 300 for me to be even excited about Zcash again. Horrible weekly. This is a dead cat bounce, right? We got 1 week up, didn't engulf, didn't break the level, didn't break that 324, and then we can't. We're right. We got engulfed, no engulf, coming right back down. This weekly right here is an instant sell. It's bottomless wick. I mean, we're gonna at least come deeper, right? Like I gotta come down here again on Zcash. Let's see if we can bounce there at that 178. Probably not. Probably can go back and fill this inefficiency at some point, right? So that's Zcash. Bearish as fuck. Let's go over XR shit. Yeah, that is a horrible weekly right there. Still filling out the inefficiency, right? This is just a pit stop here, fam. It hit that weekly 200, right? XRP shit hit that 200. But we're coming back down there to 66-70 level on XRP. There's just so much garbage in this space, fam. So that's XRP. Let's look at Solana. Same thing, right? Yeah, it looks a lot like Bitcoin. Not really a bottom here. Is holding this little support for now. If anything, it might get a bounce back up above 100. But because this is probably one of the most liquid top 10 coins out there is Solana. There's just so much Solana out there, fam. There's so much Solana. You got me. Go look at the circulating supply. It's crazy how much Solana is out there. When you got that many coins, it's really easy to have this type of save this shitcoin chop. That's all they're doing. Solana, in my opinion, fam, is going to be no different than Ethereum. Good transition, right? So, sure, I got this right. All right, so here's Ethereum, fam. All right, now if you're playing, and I've seen this float a few times, if you're playing this right here, you're about to get shat on. All right, this is not, I highly doubt this is some type of giant ascending triangle. I just highly doubt that. First off, this is a trend line on a log chart. Okay, this is log. Should never do that, fam. Should never do that. Right? So, it's a little different when it's not log. But nah, anyways, I don't believe in Ethereum. You can imagine Solana is probably somewhere, you know, around, I think it's probably around here, right? In Ethereum, if you took this fractal, let's go ahead and do that. Let's take that. Let's take this fractal here. Let's say Solana, that shitcoin with all that circulating supply. Yo, I can't, I'm gonna like force Bitdefender to sponsor me with all that fucking garbage coming up in the bottom left. All right, let's see. That make it shittier. There we go. Something like that, right? Like at some point it's going to negative 40. So this is crypto, fam. I'm not a big believer in crypto. Solana really hasn't impressed. It impressed the early days. I'm not impressed anymore. I was actually one of the OGs in the space of Solana. So I'm not sure if you're listening to an OG talk shit about Solana right now. Unfortunately, Solana is just it's just like every other scam, you know. There's people that have a lot of supply and they're dumping up there at the highs, and this is probably the best I could see for Solana. Yeah, this would probably be the best situation I could see for Solana. Solana is already rolling over. It's going to fill this out. It's going to go down, in my opinion, to $26 to $47 range. That would make sense to me. So we have a huge drop coming, fam. Huge drop. Still to come. This is not the time to buy. This is not the time to buy. Again, here's weekly Bitcoin, right? It hasn't even hit range lows. Why would you not? Why would you buy here? I have like until there's acceptance above 74K, there's zero reason to be buying here. Buy sub 60K. Buy sub 60K. All right, we'll keep it like that. We're gonna end the stream, letting everyone know that a reminder right there in the bottom of the screen is my Blowfin ref link. You go sign up, go join the Discord, open up a message that you signed up under that link. You get free access to the Discord for life. That's right, free access to Discord for life. Appreciate all the love. I made it quick. It's still bearish. We're just slowly holding, bleeding down, something like this. Yeah, I'll see y'all at low 50Ks. Mad love. I'll have another weekly update next week. Appreciate all you.